I leaked through in a full room while I was playing Twister. Ew! The teacher comes and asks her to clean them up, but she screams no and throws the pads at her teacher. Nothing humbles you more than Mother Nature. One second you're living your best life and the next you bled through your white jeans in front of your crush of 5 years. I asked y'all to send me your worst period moments and honestly, maybe some of y'all have been humbled too much. So grab your snacks, grab your tea, and let's get into this. So I was at my dad's house after he cheated on my mom and he turned out to be gay, and I got my first period and was terrified because I was in a house with 2 men and I didn't have a phone, so I couldn't call my mom. Then I had to tell my dad and stepdad. Then I walked in on them doing you know what? I love you too. Honestly, I didn't even think this was this bad because it's like, so what if dad's gay? Like, dad can still know about periods, so can dad's hubby. Like, they can still help you out and get you some pads and tampons. You don't have to be a woman to buy them. It's the whole walking in on them doing the devil's tango part. Oh, it's the way I would be so traumatized that I would never walk into his room again. I'm dying. It's fine, dad. If you're in your room, I just won't go in there. I'll figure it out. Because of that, I'm just gonna have to put this out. Don't leave your room. I fear I'd never be able to look at my dad in the eyes again. I leaked through in a full room while I was playing Twister. Ew! Imagine playing Twister and you start feeling like some water on you. You're like, wow, am I breaking a sweat? It's like getting really hot in here. Nah, it's someone else's period blood. Nah, ew. That is literally the first and only time I'd ever play Twister. Denial's a river. I would deny this happened. If someone were to be like, hey, remember when we were playing Twister and you bled on me? I'd be like, no, I don't. That must have been a wild dream because I don't recall that at all.
And guess what? Guess what? I don't recall.
I mean, hopefully the blood landed like on a red spot so you know it wasn't as visible. I'm terrified of tampons and only wear pads, but every time I'm on my period, I feel like everyone can see my pad. So one day I was walking to class and my crush yelled down the hallway, why do you keep adjusting your pants? Are you wearing a diaper? I now only wear something that covers my butt when I'm on my period.
Wait a minute.
Why your crush looking at your butt? Huh? Who's the creep now? Anyways, what does it matter? What if I was wearing a diaper, bro? Why are you so obsessed with me and my butt and my diaper? Chill. Because of that, I'm gonna say this sucks, but you'll be okay. Most of the time, I feel like the pad marks are just in our head. We're overthinking. We're super nervous. Who cares if someone sees your pad or knows you on your period? Congrats. You're aware of a natural bodily function. You want a cookie? Once I was at my dad's house when I was 10. My stomach was hurting, so I told my dad and he refused to give me medicine because he thought I was faking it to get out of school. When I stood up, he saw blood on the couch and started screaming and bringing me to the hospital. It was just my period because apparently grown men don't know about basic sex ed. This is gonna be really sad. I'm gonna have to put this at Kindergarten bestie. It's actually very concerning and very, again, sad how many grown men don't know a basic bodily function. If you have a uterus or know someone with a uterus, that uterus will shed its lining and they will bleed once a month. What's not clicking? It's the whole, he thought I was faking it to get out of school. Every time someone is like, periods can't be that bad. Oh, you're being so dramatic. I wish I could pull out one of those like period stimulators out of my pocket and be like, let's find out. Let's find out if I'm faking it. And so what if I want to get out of school? That's the whole purpose of having a period, to use as an excuse. This girl was an ISS for changing her tampon 3 times a day. We can only use the bathroom twice. Oh no. I would simply not leave my room. And by leave the room, I mean not leave the bathroom then. Because if I can only go to the bathroom 3 times to change my tampon, guess I'm not leaving the bathroom. I only went once, what you gonna do now? Now, this is when like you call your mom, your principal, the principal's mom, the principal's boss's mom, like everyone and their mother is what I'm trying to say, because I know you are not giving me ISS for changing my tampon for a natural bodily function that I cannot control. I'm getting in trouble for doing what's best for my coochie. This would villainize me. Did no adult at this school have a uterus and know about periods? Maybe they should not be in charge of a school.
I said what I said, and always. I'm not changing on it, okay?
On my grade 8 grad trip, all 19 girls had to share one cabin. This one girl got her period. She was in one of 2 bathroom stalls in our cabin. The other toilet was clogged for like 20 minutes. We found out it was because she liked to touch and play with her bloody used pads. Ew. That's not even the worst part. When we're packing up to leave the camp, we find she left her bloody used pads in the stall. The teacher comes and asks her to clean them up, but she screams no and throws the pads at her teacher. nah, seek help. And by seek help, I mean this kid, because why are you playing with your crusty, musty, dusty used pad? It's not slime. If someone threw their used bloody pad at me, it is all hands on deck. I'm throwing up and then I'm swinging. It's disgusting and it's literally a biohazard. This is why teachers are so strong and why there's a teacher shortage. I'd quit. A kid threw their pad at me. Bye. I was on my period and I wasn't subbed to just Sharon. I think that's actually the worst thing that could ever happen. Not even being dramatic. You should totally subscribe, especially if you love the tea and all the girly chats and all the fun big sister stuff. Yay, please and thank you. I was over at a friend's house and we were sitting on our bed when I suddenly got my period. I started bleeding all over her sheets and I was terrified. Eventually she went to the bathroom, so I took this chance, ran out of her house, leaving a giant puddle on her bed. I never spoke to her since. I'm just saying, if my friend bled on my bed, I'd be like, damn, that sucks. I have to do laundry. But damn, that sucks even more for my friend. I bet they're super embarrassed and super shy right now because they bled on my sheets. I wouldn't think, ew, oh my God, what's wrong with this person? I never want to be friends with them again. And if your friend did think that, they were never your friend and they're a trash human being, talk to your friend. The blood's gonna come out. Hydrogen peroxide, that's a lifesaver for a reason. A lifesaver and a friendship saver. It's really not this bad. I guess I just put it at don't leave your room because I'm assuming that's what you did for a while. Some friendships can be saved and I do believe this is one of them.
This interruption is brought to you by Aunt Flo because she never misses a month. I designed this period journal to help you track your cycle, symptoms, and cravings for 4 years so you're never caught off guard again. No more guessing games, just a little self-care for your uterus. Get yours today on Amazon and finally stay one step ahead of Mother Nature. Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
I was at an assembly and I was called up for an award. I proceeded to stand up and I was wearing a skirt and the tampon fell out on the girl in front of me.
What?
I switched schools. I love you too, by the way. And yeah, I would have switched schools too. Because I know my tampon did not just fall out in front of the entire school and on someone. I would mainly seek help if I was the girl who had a tampon fall on top of them because ew, imagine you're just minding your business. You're sitting. All of a sudden you got a crusty, musty, dusty used tampon in your hair. Bro, I think I'd have to shave my entire head. On the bright side, you can start anew at a new school. Yeah! When I was 12, my crush asked me over to his house. While I was there, he kissed me, and when we broke apart, I saw I had bled through. My crush thought I was dying and tried to call an ambulance, so his mom had to explain what it was to him. Now we are both 25 and are married. In our wedding vows, I brought that up by saying, and I will love you no matter what, even if I'm dying or have just bled through. Needless to say, neither one of us will ever forget that day. That's actually so freaking cute.
I'm so happy for you.
I guess sucks, but you'll be okay because you were more than okay, and so was your crush, you know? Sadly, it's not a canon event, so even though we all wish it was a canon event. And this is how you know they are a good crush. Not if he's over here calling you a disgusting creature or vomiting out your period blood.
It's true.
My friend went to the bathroom and there was a group of upperclassmen standing around the bathroom and this one girl was putting in a freaking tampon in the middle of the girl's bathroom. My friend slowly backed away and has been traumatized ever since. I mean, yeah, to be fair, if I'm walking into the bathroom and the first thing I see is like a circle around a girl with full-blown coochie out, I would also be a little bit concerned, not gonna lie. I would probably hold my pee in. Now I got a UTI. If you're teaching a couple friends how to put a tampon in, you know, it's for the sake of girlhood. I would respect that more than you're just flaunting your cooch because you're weird, you know? I'ma still put this out of denial as a river. Yeah, because that's just still weird. Even for the sake of education, I still would be like, not in the mood to see some cooch right now, but I appreciate the efforts. And that's me assuming those are the efforts. In 6th grade, I started getting discharged, but since I didn't know what it was, I thought it was the consequences of humping my squishmallows.
Oh.
Seek help. I get so many stories and so many confessions about like people like doing things to their stuffed animals. R.I.P. poor Rudolph every Christmas. If you know, you know. Yes, this is the consequences of humping your poor stuffed animals that did nothing to you. What did that squishmallow do to deserve that? Nothing. No. I went to homecoming with a group of friends, one of which was my crush. We all posed for a group photo and I ended up in my crush's lap so we would all fit. I fear I know where this is going. He wrapped his arms around me for the photos. When the photo was taken, I got up and realized I had blood on his khakis. I had blood on my light blue dress and it was dripping down my leg. Mother Nature has perfect timing. P.S. Thank you, I'm glad you love my videos. And yes, she does. I swear, Mother Nature waits when you're at your most vulnerable, waits when you're having like the time of your life. It is the best moment ever. And then she's like, yes. Oh, she's finally sitting on her crush's lap, the crush she's been obsessing with for the last 10 years. Now is the perfect time to ruin this. What did we do? Why? What happened? Sucks, but you'll be okay. Because period leaks are just sadly so common. Like, if you have a uterus, more than likely you will have a period leak. It super sucks that it was on your crush, but hey, you'll be okay. If your crush was a real one, he would have been like, oh man, that's a natural bodily function. I totally understand. So, if they weren't, actually, let's think about it this way. Mother Nature did you a solid. Mother Nature was like, that boy is not worth your time. He thinks periods are gross. Bye. Maybe she's not working against us. Maybe she's working in our favor. Nah, I still think she's working against us. Anyways, when I was 12, my dad took me to a lake about 2 hours away from my hometown. Long story short, my pad ended up in his hair. Heart emojis. Can you tell I'm like older Gen Z? When y'all do it like this, what is it? Ew! This feels so wrong. It looks like a dinosaur. This is a canon event, bestie. If you go swimming and you're in a pad, that pad will unstick. This is why period swimsuits are your best friend. Or tampons. Or menstrual cups. Or menstrual discs. There are so many other options. Actually, if you want to try some period swimwear, I have a code with KT by Nyx. You can get 10% off your purchase. Hey, I got you. Tell dad to buy you that and then he won't have pads in his hair anymore. Yay. If you survived the secondhand embarrassment, congrats. Now please tell me your period horror story in the comments. I promise this is a safe space for trauma bonding. And if you want more chaos like this, subscribe. Please and thank you. Shout out of the day goes to Lorelai. So true, bestie. Thanks for being here. Now stay safe out there. I love you and I'll see you next time. Bye.